Which finding from Medina and her colleagues' study, if true, would most directly challenge the assumption in the underlying sentence? Although most songbirds build open, cupped nests, some species build dome nests with roofs that provide much more protection. Many ecologists have assumed that dome nests would provide protection from weather conditions, and thus would allow species that build them to have larger geographic ranges than species that build open nests do. To evaluate this assumption, a research team led by evolutionary biologist Ileana Medina analyzed data for over 3,000 species of songbirds. So the assumption in the underlying sentence here is that dome nests would provide protection from weather conditions, and that species that build them would have larger geographic ranges as compared to open nests do. So option choice A says species that build open nests tend to have higher extinction rates than species that build dome nests. This is incorrect because this wouldn't directly challenge the assumption in the underlying sentence, which is that the dome nests provide protection from weather conditions, and species that build them have larger geographic ranges than species that build open nests do. Because high extinction rates is unrelated to the assumption in the underlying sentence, A is incorrect. B. Species that build open nests tend to be smaller in size than species that build dome nests. This is incorrect because, like A, this is unrelated to the claim in the underlying sentence, which is focused on how dome nests provide protection from weather conditions, and species that build them have high or larger geographic ranges as compared to open nests do. So, like A, B is incorrect because it is unrelated to the assumption in the underlying sentence. C. Species that build open nests tend to use fewer materials to build their nests than species that build dome nests do. This is incorrect for the same reasons A and B are incorrect, because this focus on fewer materials to build open nests as compared to dome nests is unrelated to the assumption in the underlying sentence, which once again focuses on how the dome nests provide protection from weather conditions, and thus allow species that build them to have larger geographic ranges. So therefore, C is incorrect. D. Species that build open nests tend to have larger ranges than species that build dome nests. This is the correct answer because this directly challenges the assumption in the underlying sentence, which focuses on how species that build dome nests have larger geographic ranges as compared to species that build open nests. So D, therefore, is the correct answer.